sorry I had to stop and restart, but was having a bit of a problem trying to get my GPS supposedly activated. I didn't even know it was disactivated, to be honest with you. Well, today, pardon me, today we are having, pull my shirt down here. Uh-oh. Today we're going to do something that I've been avoiding since we started this whole thing, and so we're gonna go woodly. And in fact, I should fix this right now. I'm standing here. Hold it. Alright guys, I'm sorry about that. I'm trying to keep myself warm, and I'm having a bit of trouble. I'll edit that out. Hopefully you guys never see it. I have to be honest with you all because my editing, one of the reasons why my editing takes so long is because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to learn, as I go, but my problem is, once I get, usually the only time I think about how much help I really need as far as training, by the time I realize that I'm in the middle of editing a video that I just, recorded. And so, that's really not the time to learn. I actually should be learning, after I post my video and get everything done, then I take the time, or I should take the time to, kind of get myself acclimated with editing videos. I know how to do the basic stuff, but things like B-roll, that's one of the that's some of the jargon that they use in editing. B-roll, clips. I still trying to figure out how to kind of split the clips and okay, that thing is beeping in my ear. I know how to split the clips. I'm having more improvements with the going from, I keep saying I don't mean to do that. It's a bad habit. But basically I'm just, maybe there's this long clip and I want to split it at one point so that I can, get rid of, I did it again, somebody in the comments, count how many times I say starting now. So I know how to split the clip and cut off what parts I don't want, and then I know how to do the transitions, which they're not really hard, but it's, you know, it's kind of good one. It's kind of like they give you these choices, and that's one of the reasons why I use 3 different video editors, because some of them have features that the other one doesn't. So, for example, the words that come across the screen in my intro video, it's which one is that? Power Director. Power Director allows you to use something called flocking, and I think the one I currently have is roller coaster. No. The one that I currently have is, those floating. Yeah, something stinks over here. I don't know what it is. It smells like sewage. Anyway, so yeah, I use I think it's called a floating wave or something like that. I use that feature, or a text effect is what they call it. But there's also a text effect in KineMaster, which is the other video editing software that I use. And with KineMaster, we are basically, that was like my go-to editing software. Now, you know, some of the features that are in KineMaster and Power Director, some things are not free. You know, you have to pay, you know, a certain amount of money to have access to all of the features. Well, I'm already paying for 2, so I refuse to pay for another one when it's clear I can't afford it, first of all. Second of all, it's not that necessary because I'm not making money doing YouTube. So, you know, all the money that I invest into my channel, pardon me, is coming from my pocket. I've said this before, I am on a fixed income, and I mean, I don't get no raises. Be nice, but you know, that's one of the downsides of being unemployed or handicapped. They don't use that anymore. They stopped using the word handicap, I mean, when describing someone who's I wish you'd shut up, man. Okay. He's just running his mouth. We can't both run our mouths at the same time. But, so what I was saying was, you know, because this is coming out of my pocket and, you know, I'm getting nothing in return, which really kind of helps me make that decision that I don't want to, you know, invest too much money into these videos. I just enjoy doing it. In fact, I'd say out of, you know, I hope I'm not clicking you guys, because I keep hearing some clicking. I don't usually hear clicking though. Look at these little birdies. A lot of them. Are they looking for gophers? Y'all looking for gophers? I don't know why I be talking to animals. Hey, are you guys looking for gophers? I think I'm crazy. I'm not half crazy. Yeah, I must be half crazy. Because full on crazy, I guess I'd still be there talking to the birds. Half is good though. Some level or some degree of craziness is acceptable. Like somebody comes to your front door and ring the bell or knock on it, you can say something like, who the fuck is it? I didn't expect nobody to come in my goddamn house. Something like that. That way, whoever that person is will leave your front door. Yeah, you said enough times. They will leave the front door. Don't open it, no. Because that defeats the purpose. You just, make your little statement and then basically wait for them to leave. But I guarantee you one thing, they'll think twice before they try to do that shit again. And it'd be kind of nice to take a look out the peephole. Yeah. And that way you know who you're screaming at. So when they come back again, you just think of something different to say. I told you once, motherfucker, get the hell away from my goddamn door. Like that. All right? And like I said, they'll leave and hopefully not come back. Now, I want to make it clear, I am not antisocial. I am, however, an introvert. Of course, people come to see me. Generally, and I mean this in the widest spectrum of the word, people will call me and say, hey, I'm in the neighborhood. I'm coming by. Or they send me a text. Hey, can I come over? Or they give me a call. Hey, how you doing? Girl, I thought we should spend some time together. They've let me know that you're coming, so I'm expecting you. And, if I need to straighten up my place because I live comfortably, honey. I don't live in filth, but I live comfortably because it's my shit. I pay for it. I can live in it the way I want to live in it. Here's some more birds. Hi, birds. What are you guys doing? Are you looking for gophers? I saw your buddies down the way there. Oh, they're flying away. That's a lot of them, too. Oh, that's like a little flock of baby birds. Okay, so we've established how to be crazy, half crazy, or some degree of crazy. Look at these houses, guys. Look at this one. That one's nice. I don't like houses that don't have the driveway in the front. I have to remember that when I'm looking for a house to buy, that I don't want to have to go through an alley to get to my garage. I mean, what if I come home, say, 10, 11, 12 at night? And then, I have to drive in the alley and hope that ain't nobody around there waiting for me. Okay, true, you could have one of those drive-in garages where the door closes behind you. You can enter your house through the garage. But if I'm in a raggedy neighborhood which the neighborhood right here is not raggedy. But if you go 2 blocks in that direction, that direction over there, you guys see me pointing, we'll make a right and then we'll be going in that direction. I'm sorry, a left, and then we'll be going in that direction. But if I'm in a seedy neighborhood, or I mean, you know what, seriously, even a nice neighborhood, the shit don't just happen in bad neighborhoods. But I don't want to go through a fucking alley to park my car. And I don't want to park it in front, because this house, well, the couple of the houses that I looked at, they're on the hill, obviously. So you got to park your car in some weird ass way. And you know how I feel about hills. Oh, speaking of hills, I'm gonna show you guys what we just did. We came all the way down from Lassen. And now, so we did the hill. We did the hill down. You want to do the hill? Let's do the hill up and then go back in. All right. Now, I didn't see what time it was when I left. It was sometime after 7. Beverly Hillbillies was on. And so, you guys, this is the first time I've done this hill going up. And remember, we said that 2019 was our year, okay? This is, what do we call it? This is the season. Now you notice I'm stopping, right? Yeah, I'm stopping. It's okay. It's okay to stop. Let's just continue. It's okay to pause. That's what I'm gonna call it. It's not okay to stop, but it's okay to pause. Jesus. I guess one of these days I'll be able to, if we keep doing it, you know? So that's gonna be our new thing. We're gonna get this hill and everything's gonna be all right. All right. Oh, I stopped talking. I'm sorry, you guys. I was thinking just about this hill and you know, what's in store for me in the new year. I definitely maybe by the time we get to the shade, I don't know how these people do it. I see these people coming up this hill past me, because remember I used to stop at a certain spot. Look, we did good. So what feast? Honey, what feast? You know, I always wondered, like, you know, I told you that somebody mentioned to me that the coyotes had a den here on base. And I'm just kind of curious to know where it is so I can avoid it. But, you know, basically, you know, like the guy says, if they don't bother you, well, they won't bother you if you don't bother them, or something like that. He says they prefer for us to stay away from them. All right, it's getting a little, look at these people. They're coming up the hill. I put myself in a compromising position by coming this way. You know, I like to avoid people whenever possible, and that is also part of my recovery as far as my depression and anxiety. Just trying to catch my breath here. The problem is, where I am right now, I'm not all the way up the hill. I guess you could say I'm about 75% of the way. And there are some people coming up the hill behind me. And I can't run. And because I'm on this hill, I can't walk very fast. And so they continue to get closer and closer and closer, which y'all know I'm just trying to get away from them, right? I know y'all know. So, all right, we're almost at the top. I guess the bus stop is the top of the hill, huh? Because, see, now I'm walking faster. So I guess I'm at the top of the hill. This is going to be, seems like, an erotic video with all this heavy breathing. Man, oh man, Chevette. I just wanted to get to the top of the hill. So, speaking of, I want to try to get an understanding. When people say they want to talk to their kids about sex and love, I guess, because you kind of want them to both, you know, go together. Pardon me. Anyway, so my question is, why do they call it the birds and the bees? Huh? Birds and bees. Have you had the talk? Well, now the talk could mean anything, because apparently I've been watching on you know, like those ratchet shows. One is called look at this fool. Wow, she really did make a U-turn in the middle of the street. And now she's trying to park. Look. Can you guys see that? She's really trying to, and that's not a big, white lady. Figures. I'm sorry, that was ugly. I'm sorry, Lord. Anyway, so yeah, I've been trying to figure out why they call it the birds and the bees. Was there a talk, you know, years ago where they actually had a birds and bees talk. Who knows? Let me know in the comments below. That's interesting. What is the, let's see, what is the, I don't know. I don't know what you call it. Why do they call it the birds and the bees? Basically. Let's see, what else? Well, I never had the birds and the bees talk with my mother. I was only raised by my mother. My father was doing his own damn thing. I guess what you call living your best life. Well, that's what the hell he was doing. No shade. He wasn't with us. So there was not a talk about the birds and the bees until I got to be about 16 years old. And I had a boyfriend, a secret boyfriend, mind you. And basically, he taught me the birds and the bees. Don't get hit. These people are gonna kill us. Yeah, these people, and they got the sun in their eyes. They can't see nothing. Oh, honey. So we're back on base now, and I think we had a good walk. It wasn't 60 minutes, but we did the hill, okay? So, you know, we can totally take credit for that. So yeah, my boyfriend at the age of 16, he didn't teach me the birds and the bees, or the talk, as you call it. He just showed me. He just showed me. Poor little me. So that's how I learned about sex from a 17-year-old. So let's see. I'm trying to think now. Okay, I told you guys that. Oh, I was trying to tell you, and that lady was parking her car. I was trying to tell you guys about the talk. Nowadays, I guess this, not new generation, but the one right after me, directly after me, that generation. And then, of course, you know, everybody else that follows. But my little, not issue, but my I took a Benadryl this morning. I don't, it must be super cold out here. I done worked up a sweat now. So anyway, so the ratchet shows I was telling you guys about is Basketball Wives, the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Love and Hip Hop. Those are what I like to call ratchet shows. But they were saying that in one of the shows that 1.32 miles, that ain't nothing. Anyway, so yeah, these ladies, I think it was in Basketball Wives, one lady was saying that she had to have the talk with her son. And apparently the talk was not the sex talk. It was how to behave when you are encountering the police, or when there's, you know, when you're having a situation with the police. And so, you know, I'm like, well, I never thought about, well, I don't have any sons, I just have Brittany, but I never really thought about how to behave well, that you would have to behave in a different way from everybody else when you encounter the police. It just never occurred to me. And that's really something because, like, say, for example, when my mother was a child, I don't know how black people interacted with the police. I knew that there was issues with non-blacks that had issues with blacks. So basically, it's coming back around. You know, they say that history repeats itself. And so I think that's what's happening. I think that, these people are, let's sit down for a minute, guys. To think that these people are, sorry, I'm just sitting here for a minute, guys, because I can. I don't want to go all the way in the house just to sit down. But basically, it's like if history is repeating itself as far as racism. Years ago, many years ago, they were lynching black people. But I heard that they were only lynching like business owners, anybody who had, I guess that were doing well. So they didn't mess with, slaves. I don't know if there were slaves around that time or what, but I know they were killing us. And it kind of seems like that now. But instead of it being Klansmen, it seems as though the police are doing what they call modern day lynchings. And that's just, just taking somebody out with a weapon. I guess they figure, why go through all the trouble of buying rope, finding a decent tree, and then they said, fuck it, it's like on the job. You know how you don't have to pay for your uniform, or you don't have to pay for the supplies you use to work with every day. So that would be considered supplies that the job provides. Bullets. You don't have to buy the bullets. You don't have to find a tree out of the way. So, you have to use your gas up to drive somebody way out of the way. And pull all the way in. That's so silly. Yeah, it's you're justified. You're absolutely justified. I thought he had a gun. The problem is, they get excused for committing murder, basically murder, first degree, second degree manslaughter. All of those are excused when the police officer says, I thought he had a weapon. And, now they're, well, that's a little deep for me. It's a little deep for me. Y'all know I can't be sitting here talking like that. I get worked up, start feeling hopeless. Oh my God, he mucked it in the chair. It's 8 o'clock. Oh, what does it say? Please, please do not throw animal waste into this lobby trash can. Please throw away outside. Okay. Next time I have some animal waste, I will put it outside. Just like you asked me to. Okay. There you go. I've got to give me some easy off because the bottom of my stove is filthy, or the oven, the bottom of the oven. I make baked potatoes, and I make them restaurant style. So restaurant style, you don't, they don't cover up the potato in foil, nothing like that. What they do is they butter. Well, first they wash the potato. They don't peel it. And they wash the potato. Sorry about my place, y'all. You know, I get up and I get out. I'll fix it up. Anyway, so yeah, they wash the potato. Then they slather it with butter all over, and then you sprinkle. I like to use sea salt, and I use the Mediterranean coarse sea salt, and sprinkle that all over your potato. You take your tongs, grab your potato, and you sit it right on the oven rack, and that's the way you bake it. And so I bake a lot of potatoes. I love potatoes, and so with that, the bottom of my oven, it's got butter drippings, it's got sea salt, and any other drippings that want to join in. All right, you guys, that is it. Oh, did I show you let me show you this way. Okay. This is, let me make sure you can see it before I start talking. Okay, right there. This is called a stealth plankster. I want to show you here. Get out the way. Get out the way. Whoa, whoa. Like that. And like that. It's a stealth plankster. And you guys can see this. What you do is you get on it like this. And then you twist until your game goes in this part right here. You put your phone in there, and then you use it to guide yourself around. It goes from the side to side, it goes back like this, it goes down like that, and you just move it back and forth to like this, because it's got like a pivot ball. Can you guys see that? It's a pivot ball, and it goes all around. So when you get on it, you just go. So of course you're like this, and you're holding. Well, you guys can't see, but you're like this, and you're holding it, and you're going. Anyway, I just wanted to show you guys that. Thanks for joining me today, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye.